Our next speaker is Cheri Kiesecker. She's a Colorado parent and active advocate for children's privacy. She's a frequent blogger and member of many organizations, including Parent Coalition for Student Privacy. Welcome, Cheri.
I'm sure we're all familiar with data. We use it every day. You get advertisements in your mail based on your shopping habits, based on the little cards you swipe at the store. Every time you swipe your credit card, that data is bought by someone. Data is money. Data brokers buy and sell data. Parents do not get to consent and don't even get notified when their children's data is farmed out for research or for some other purpose. The biggest problem is our U.S. Department of Education believes in a data-driven education. And so there's this over-reliance and this over-trust of data, thinking that data can't be wrong, and the more data, the better. But there's also a philosophy of garbage in, garbage out. And if you get the wrong data to start with, your whole premise could be wrong. And if you can't see the data collected about you, then your entire future path could be decided based on this incorrect data. But there was a nearly $5 million grant to create this project called LearnSphere. And what this project did was make it possible to track a child's movement across the internet, across any web-based platform. So if you think about that, and you think about what's happening with children and all of their data being collected, it's a little scary because they're going to grow up completely under surveillance and no way of being in control of their own data identity. FERPA does not cover data. It does not protect against third-party vendors. And the metadata that children use, that is collected when children use online apps, is not covered. It's not protected. So FERPA has some loopholes in it, and if we could change one thing, I would say revert back to pre-2011 and fix those loopholes that allow children's data to leave school walls without parent consent. 10 organizations came together at the U.S. Department of Education Summit and said that they wanted to begin this data-driven education, and in order to make that happen, they wanted in each state a giant data warehouse that would track each child's data in each state, and that's called the State Longitudinal Data System. And they wanted that by 2009, and we do have that now. The data are tagged, so they're coded, so that it's very easy to compare different. Homeless value is one tag. ADHD could be a different tag. And so there's over 400 data tags in the state database, and there's, I think, something like 1,700 data tags in the federal database now. We're moving towards focusing more on how a child learns versus what they learn. So your emotions and your behaviors are becoming more graded than potentially the content and the knowledge of what you learn. So we hear that a lot, that we're measuring 21st century skills. When I first heard that, I thought it was whether they could use a computer or do science or math. It's not. It has nothing to do. It's mostly if they're a leader, if they're aware, if they're alert, if they're an advocate. It's a lot of work ethic. It's a very subjective thing to grade. And it's a very big ethical question whether we should be grading children in school on their behavior and their emotions, and then uploading that onto a data badge. They collect all this data, yet our U.S. Department of Education has had multiple data breaches and received an F on their security score because they can't keep the data secure. Yet it's mandatory that our children's data be uploaded. We can't opt out of it. Your credit score is a little bit of your shadow identity. For children, their shadow identity starts from preschool, sometimes birth in different states. And it's something we can't access. We can't check for accuracy. And it's making predictions and decisions about them. And we have no way to control that data footprint at this point. Your data footprint is making decisions about you and you don't even know. How much data is out there about your child? Data is money. Your children are being monetized. And this Silicon Valley Plan book said that changes in education law could unlock a $1.2 trillion in global economic value just in student data. Thanks.